Greetings, YouTube blade lovers and followers of this old sword blade reviews channel. Well, I just got into knife appreciation over the weekend and started fidgeting with a few things I already had. Collection's growing. There's many knives in the collection, many of which will be eventually sold off, but these are probably three keepers for various reasons, but the main reason is that they're very satisfying knives. And for sort of different reasons, they're well built, well made knives by respected manufacturers that I came upon in 2022. And right now we're in August of 2022. And I thought I'd go through them one at a time, and in no particular order. So let's get started. So this one is the Exploit. Had to pause for a minute because, although I love it, there are so many knife names. This is a design, however, by Todd Knife and Tool. Comes sort of on the heels of a bigger brother that looks similar, which is the Shodan, also by Bestech. Todd Knife and Tool does such a beautiful mechanical industrial design. I think I'll call it that. This version has the tiger stripes on it, that anodization that gives it an interesting look, kind of a gray with some dark gray stripes. That was probably the most appealing of the three that were available. You can get it in other variants. And I will put the links to this knife in the comments so you can check it out. Notice one thing, notice many things. Look at the bridged backspacer with the slots there. That's one feature. The gear-like jimping, if you want to call it jimping, at the back of the backspacer. The three holes that are drilled and countersunk, polished into the handle on both sides. See them shine away there? Three types of jimping: medium space, fine space, and coarse space. You can choke up because it's got a real finger choil. You lose a little bit of blade there, but it is still plenty of blade for the use with an extremely high flat grind and an S35VN, a really nice respectable steel that many put above other steels, super steels like M390 and 20CV, I'm hearing. Feels great in the hand, although it is somewhat smaller than its bigger brother, the Shodan. And the Shodan's also one of my favorites. Selecting only three knives for today certainly leaves a lot of other really good ones out in the wings, but you know, there's time for those as well. And if your favorite knife is not showing up here, then doesn't mean it isn't my favorite. This is kind of an impulse video, and just wanted to show off some knives that they're all very fidgety. They all have a beautiful drop shut action. But that is the Exploit. Look at that arrowhead style spear point blade and plenty of thickness. So this can be a great working knife. This can be a safe queen. This can be certainly a collectible. Look at that clip. Very characteristic of Todd Knife and Tool. So that's the Exploit. Moving on. Here's one that has become discontinued, unfortunately. And this is a design by Alessandra De Santos of Hydra Designs. And this one is called, pardon me, I should know the name. Well, it is the Hecate or Hecate, a Greek goddess, named after a Greek goddess presiding over magic and spells. And Alessandra likes to name her knives with meaning, such as the Roman, also by We Knife Company. Too bad this got discontinued. This is a unique design, very characteristic angled guard, incorporating the flipper tab, and a top guard here with effective jimping. It is very much designed for the saber grip. That is angled across the palm. Very, very comfortable in that grip. A little less so if you square your grip up. This tends to bite just a little bit, and I don't want to complain since these are knives that are very satisfying. You've got a ramp for your thumb. It's a long 4-inch blade, and it's a frame lock, and it just drops shut every time. Got that fantastic texturing on there, and stonewash on both the blade, and We does one of the best stonewashes. Such a fine yet predominating stonewash for sure. We call that kind of a modified Wharncliffe, although Wharncliffes are supposed to have a straight edge, and this has a very nice graduated useful belly and a useful tip. Plenty of blade stock there, about a 4mm blade stock as I recall. And there are individual reviews on each of these knives, so you want to learn more, just pull it up. It'll be in a list. Glass breaker on this one probably could have been left off, but it is an effective glass breaker. I think it's a carbide glass breaker. Kind of on the pointy side. Not sharp pointy, it's not going to rip your thumb open, but definitely defined. Just look at the detail that we have here. And this again is another knife that's both satisfying to fidget with. Listen to that clack. Put it up near the mic here. That really cool hollow clack. And a large knife. For those that like large knives, if you like this knife, try to find it on the secondary market. You may be able to. You know, a lot of impulse buyers are going to buy it, play with it, and sell it off. So that's the Hecate. I call it the Hecate. Call it a Hecate if you'd like. Another of Hydra Designs, beautiful masterpieces. And oh yes, steel on this one I believe is 20 CV. I'm reasonably sure it's 20 CV, although I'm going to have to hunt for it in all of that grayish stonewash in order to validate that for you. There it is, right there. It's also in gray. And yeah, We is stepping away from billboarding, so that is what you get. Finally, and the most recent acquisition, coming in very heavy, is this Corvus III by Maxace. Corvus III being of M390, being over 4 inches, or at least 4 inches. And they do a beautiful job. One more look up here. Well, it has zirconium scales, and zirconium is that element that they use in both furnaces and nuclear reactors. Very tough material, very dense, and you can feel the weight of this thing. It is not a light knife. It is a bit of a pocket buster, but it has such tremendous beauty and action that just drops that blade shut every time. Thumb studs on this one and flipper. Ginormous knife, very much in that Maxace tradition of large knives such as the Goliath II and the Sandstorm, etc. And they just keep turning them out. And this comes in some other variants as well. I think they have Mokutai for this one. Another series that I hope to get into with Maxace is the Amber series. And the This is kind of a sister to that amber series, being very, very rich in detail. Beautiful knife. There's a hidden lanyard provision right there, just barely sticking out from the end of the knife. This zirconium is extremely shiny and unfortunately also a fingerprint magnet, but it does wipe up very easily. Clean off those fingerprints, no problem at all. That zirconium is a very inert substance, I'm told, and I'm not sure how well it's going to resist scratching, but I'm hearing it's quite hard. So we'll see. And this is not an everyday carry. This is really kind of a collector for me. But that is the Corvus III, the Exploit, and the Hecate. Three beautiful knives. As I say, three very satisfying knives to play with, to look at, to use. I'd say the best user of all of them is going to probably be the Exploit for size, and certainly the Hecate, very tough frame lock knife. And that's probably the guy that's going to get pampered just a little bit. What can I tell you? Some of them get pampered, guys. All right, that's the video for today. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe. Got more good stuff on the way. See you soon.